Hello all, and welcome to this evening, late afternoon, early evening beer review, which I am going to dub the I fixed the toilet beer review. My toilet broke again, so I repaired it again. It took a lot quicker than I thought it would. Usually these things, they take me a few hours. This one took me like 5 minutes. So it was a broken handle, so I thought I was going to have to really fight, to get the calcification off, and that there would be some problem putting in the hook, but no, no, no. It went like a charm, and I could not be more pleased. I didn't do all my voting, but I did do some of the research for my voting, which is just depressing because nobody even bothers like running in most of these races, even for the primaries. It's like, well, people always complain about Hawaii's voting turnout being the lowest in the nation, but when you don't have any choices, why show up? And that's about as political as I'm going to get. Notice no partisan slant there. I was just making an overall observation about the state of voting in the state of Hawaii. And what is it that we are reviewing? Well, we are going to Japan. Well, not literally, because I am stuck here in Hawaii and I cannot afford to go to Japan. But we are going to review Japanese beers. And what is the beer that we are reviewing? Well, this one I had to pick up. This is from Kizakura Brewing Company in Kyoto. I reviewed a few of their beers before. The only one I remember is that really awful matcha one that looked like antifreeze coolant. But hey, even if this beer doesn't blow me away, it's still got chicken on it. See, so it's part of their Lucky Brew series, and this one is Lucky Chicken. And those of you who have been watching my channel for a very long time, before I moved into this place, when I had my old place, which I loved very much and I miss very much, I owned chickens. And so sometimes, I would have the door open, the chickens would wander in, or I'd start the review holding one of my chickens or something like that. So I have an affinity for chickens. Well, you can't see it over here, but I decorate my apartment with chicken-themed art. Uh, so actually, why don't I go and grab one of them right now, so I can show you here. This is my biggest one, but is far from my only one. So yeah, I really like chickens. I also like ducks, geese, and other assorted fowl. It's just a thing of mine, you know? So I knew I had to get it when I saw this. So this is classified as a red IPA. However, on Untapped and especially Beer Advocate, they question the style categorization on this, saying that it's more akin to a red or amber ale. I haven't had this before, so we shall be seeing that tonight. And yeah, so this is 5.5 ABV. Another reason why I kind of question the IPA appellation, as it is very light for an IPA. And that's not to say that IPAs within style can't be, like 5.5. It's just like very much on the lighter end of things in regards to IPAs, you know. So, without much further ado, let's just go and pour this one out, shall we? Interesting how they have these pull tab things, Something I don't see much. Oh, I forgot. This brewery, for some reason, their beers make big head. Very big head. I don't know why. That was unwise of me. That was highly unwise of me. Very unwise. It's still growing. So, kind of over poured this. Very well carbonated, but clear. Amber. Amber. Amber ruby. With a very voluminous, thick, off-white to beige head. Probably should have poured it a lot slower. Okay. Got some. It's kind of hard actually because it's not holding. It's all above the glass right now, so I don't want to. Okay. So we have some floral and slightly citrus hopping on a very dark bread-like malt base. Nosing is kind of impeded by the thickness of the head right now. It's not bubbling off, so it's kind of holding in all the smell there. Yeah, toasty brown bread, and yeah, more floral hops than anything else. Just a slight tang of citrusness to this. Okay, onto the palate now. Well, if we can get through the head anyway. Okay, that was mostly head there. Okay, there's a lasting bitterness in the finish, hot bitterness in the finish. Um, Kind of zesty, but at the same time, there is a longer top note of toasted malt, toasted bread. Up front, a slight lemony citrusness melds with that toasted malt base. There's quite a there's a decent amount of bitterness in the mids to finish. I would actually still qualify this as within the IPA style. That is definitely a level of hopping that, in my book, anyways, falls under the classification of red IPA. Yep. The hops aren't too apparent in the top note. Maybe some slight floral, some slight grassiness. Um, it's more that sort of toasty bread, toasty malt throughout, in the top note at least. Yeah, not too much dimensionality of the hops on the palate. It's mostly um, a moderate bitterness with some just slight lemon zest and a touch of pine resin. Well integrated with the malt body, even though you don't really get as much of the malts on the palate. It really booms up a lot in the top note, though, so you don't feel like you're missing out there. So I would say that this is not very complex. This is not very complex flavor-wise. However, what I like is that the malts are showing up. Some red IPAs I've had, it's basically so dominated in both the bouquet and the top note and on the palate with the hopping that you wonder, well, why did they even bother using these darker malts? You can't taste them. This one, you still have a good amount of flavor experience from the malting. Again, not so much on the palate, more in the nose and in the top note. Body is about as it should be. Not too thin, not too thick. Feels appropriately at 5.5. Not too much carbonation on the palate, but I think most of that carbonation went straight to the head when it woofed up. Now, would I get this again? Yeah, just because it says Lucky Chicken on it, and I like chickens. It's kind of expensive. Goes for about in between about $4 to $5 when I got this one at Tamura's. So it's not an everyday sipper. But I would say this is decent enough. If you like red IPAs, this might not be as hoppy as you'd like if you're a complete IPA hophead. But if you like sort of red ales, amber ales, I would say, yeah, give this one a shot. It's definitely into the IPA style, I would say, but you still get enough of the malts there to satisfy someone like me who likes red ales. And that, folks, is your beer review for this afternoon, evening. And I almost want to go and make chicken noises now. Yeah. I would talk to my chickens in their language. Okay, and that, folks, is your review. Cheers and cluck cluck.